But yeah, cool. Right. So I've got like some preliminary data, but it's not from the same session. It's not from the same
Okay.
conditions. So, I've got a little bit of an idea of the trends that you're doing, but I'd rather see it in this session, this actual
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Um,
let me hop in. Hold on. So this is hosted.
it should be in the league in the
Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry. League sessions. Yep, Daytona. Gotcha. Yep, I think I'm logging in. Okay, so this is,
awesome.
yeah, this is significantly harder than. Is it still the same medium downforce?
It is. Yeah, medium downforce.
I think you were saying that we're probably gonna get mugged on the straight, but yeah, it would be slightly easier over the 24 hours.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. That is definitely. I think it's probably quite sensible going for this, but there will be teams that will breeze past you on the straight. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, it's already been. Well, actually, you know what? To be honest, if it wasn't for a few issues, we're looking really good for P2 actually.
okay, good.
I mean, honestly, I think on pace, the problem that I think there were two accidents that happened, but on pace when we were lapping, I think at the point when Phil went for his dinner, we were P3 closing in on P2. P1
Okay.
was like 7 laps ahead of us. He was 7 laps ahead of the pack, so there was no way unless something happened. But yeah, like I think the steady state was not looking too bad.
Okay. Well, that's good. I love that you guys do these events together. It's like it makes me so happy that this Discord server is being used and people are actually like doing social events and stuff. It's just really cool. Like I can see right now in the other voice channel, there's like three of the young lads in there doing whatever. But
Oh
it's
my
cool.
God, is it Tom and was
Tom,
Josh?
Max, and whoever the Rotax is. I don't even know who
Yeah,
Rotax is.
Rotax is yeah. He's this I think 16 or 17-year-old kid
Yeah, they all are. They're all
who
like 14 to 16 or something. We've got like a kindergarten in there.
yeah, I like the energy though. Like they're super talented and they're really excited. So it's really cool, and they're
Yeah,
teaching
it's
me all
nice.
kinds of interesting stuff about Britain.
Okay. Good, I think.
Our, yeah, good stuff. Let me see. So should I go on? Should I try to go for a lap, or
I
should
think
I?
so. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, why don't we just before you go for a lap, I know the conditions aren't the same, but the setup is the same, and some of the things are probably going to be similar. So this is a lap. What I've got here is a lap you did at some point in your stint in that race. And the thing that I can see straight away, can you see my screen, by the way?
Now I can. Hold on. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, now I see the graph. Okay, cool.
Okay, so
Yep.
the thing that I can see in quite a few places is obviously I'm blue and you're red. You're using second gear in corners, I'm using first gear. And it's basically every single corner you use second, I'm one gear lower than you in first. Now,
Okay.
that that doesn't mean mine's definitely better. So let's look at your speeds. Like I'm just looking now at the minimum speeds and that kind of thing. We're doing basically identical minimum speeds in all those corners.
Oh
Like
look,
some,
I'm only losing time to you in the corners.
you're we're like exactly the same minimum, but what I see every time is your car accelerates more slowly out of those corners. So even like here, so we're talking out of hairpin one, like the first
Yep.
tight
Yep.
corner. You get on the power very similarly to me, but your car just doesn't really accelerate. I think that's because you're in second and it's just a bit bogged down.
Okay.
When you look at the revs, look down here. Your revs are like 4,000, mine are five
Oh
thousand,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Much
So
lower.
yeah, so I think first gear is going to be a benefit, but obviously it's going to spin the wheels more easily as well. So you just have to take
Yep.
that into account. So you're going to have to accelerate smoothly, get the steering angle on. But I'm pretty sure first is a better gear for those corners. It'll allow you a bit
Okay.
more rotation. It'll take away some of the understeery nature that this car has on some of the entries, and it'll mean you can be nice and tight and neat at the apexes. But drive how you feel natural to drive. Don't try and force a change in this first one. Like, do what feels best, and we'll dig into it. The other big one is, conversely, you are using a gear lower than me in the bus stop. So you're third when I'm fourth through the bus stop. So the bus stop is, with everyone I've done sessions here, the bus stop is the one where there's the most obvious speed difference. So
Okay.
your minimum
Wow.
speed is like
Holy shit.
35k difference through the middle. So there's definitely some time to find through there. And this is on quite a slippery session. So there's definitely some potential. And in terms of the line, I mean, we'll look in detail when you've actually done some laps, but at least on this one you did. You're going in a bit later and then going a bit deeper in the middle, and then you're not as wide on the exit. So there's just like a line tweak, but the biggest thing is the braking. The biggest thing is the reason your speed is dropping away so much is because you've got this big old brake here, earlier than me and much harder than me.
Yeah,
and then you do a nice second brake here. This second one's good, but you're already going slow enough. You actually don't need it, considering the speed you're going. So
Gotcha.
I want you to do this kind of double brake that you can kind of see me do here, although zooming in that makes it harder to see, I think. Like gentle and then another tweak and then you're off. But I don't think you need quite as big a first brake. But
Yeah, interesting.
Go on.
And so we were actually, we were actually talking, the three of us, Pete, Phil, and I, about your line through the bus stop. So is that true that you start braking at the 100-meter mark, or is that slightly before?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look on this lap at least. So let's zoom round to that bit of the track. Here. So where the 1 sign is here, let's go on the cockpit so you can see. I'll go super slow-mo so we can see when the braking starts. So the 1 board has just disappeared. Now, just after I've started the turn. So like
can
here.
You get out? No, yeah, you're past the 1. Okay, interesting. And can you slow-mo so you're trail braking all the way through the entry?
Not very hard though. Quite.
No,
quite
I know. That's always the hard part. Like, it's hard to get. Yeah, look at that. You're easing. Ooh, so you're already braking.
That's the
hard.
second brake. Yeah, that's the second brake to turn right.
And look, you're already done. Okay, you're already done braking, and now another one, and now you're already on the gas. Interesting. Yeah, because I'm much wider than you, and yeah. I think my second braking phase goes much deeper than you.
Okay, that's interesting. And I don't think any of this was an off track. It looks like it nearly was. Yeah, that wasn't an off track. So all of that was just legal. So, like, although I'm touching the grass here, that's flirting with an off track, but it wasn't one. So that's how much you can maximize the curb. Now, what I found with, who was it yesterday? I was with Brad here yesterday, Terabello. And what we found with him was, I don't know whether we'll see this with you. I haven't got the video yet of yours, but he was leaving this curb about here. So his left tyre was off the curb about here, and that was then making the next one really tight. Whereas the big difference was I was staying on this curb until the grass bit at the end there. So like that was the crucial angle that gave me the room to then turn right here. If you see what I mean, it kind of shifted the whole corner to the right slightly, and then meant I wasn't deep. I think, like your data shows. Yeah, you see, in fact, look, I think we can probably already see it here, where you're like much deeper in that bit, and that gives you an easier exit. Like you're able to exit without going as wide, but you're allowed to exit that wide, so you kind of might as well use the speed through that.
I want to go wide. Yeah.
So let's see how it goes. Let's see what it looks like. But I think the key is the braking, which stays kind of on over whilst you're turning. So you've finished braking here, and I keep going a bit longer, and then I start again before you start again to like force it to turn right in this bit. But the bus stop is a nightmare, man. It's so hard. Everyone I talk to hates it, and every time I go through there, I'm like, this fucking corner. Like I hate it. But
I love that corner, man.
It's just hard. It's hard to carry the speed.
Yeah, but I think I love that corner because I'm slow as shit. That's why.
Maybe you're finding it easier.
Yeah. I just like the way it flows, but clearly I'm not good in it. I don't know. I think it's probably my favorite.
At the moment, at least on that lap, you're losing, if we take that as the entry, because you've not lost anything from here all the way to here. In fact, you've gained on me. You've got a better speed on the straight there. I don't know if the wind was different, if you had a slipstream or what. We're on the same setup, so there's no reason you should.
No,
be that
but
much
that's
quicker on
not
the
that's
straight,
not.
but,
It's not the same. It's not the same track conditions.
but you're 3.2 there, and when we exit, you're 1.3 seconds further back. So there's 1.3 seconds just in that one corner. So that's if we can halve that, you've gained loads. You know, if you
That's
can even
like-
get halfway there, you've gained a chunk. So
That's a day and a half.
so over the course of a long race, you know, that could add up to quite a lot. So it also
No, but
it's
yeah.
more than that though, Serge, because also if you can get half a second closer to me there, imagine how many more people you'll have lapped by the time you get to the braking point at turn 1, where you might not have
Right.
caught them. If they've pulled a gap on you, like even if it's a GT3 car or something, they might be that much further ahead than they would have been, and that means you're then going to have to overtake them in a corner somewhere else in the lap. So the higher speed you can exit here, the less overtaking as an average you're going to have to do in the
No,
corners
but
of the
bro,
race. So,
look, I'm already sold on that. I mean, I can already tell you right now, this is it, because I was so slow through that corner. I actually almost got into accidents.
okay.
That's how bad. That's how bad. You can, in fact, you can even see right here, like my braking
Sorry, I
point.
just closed it. Let's open it. Here.
My braking point into the bus stop is like it's like 6 miles before you already right there, and it's much harder. So I'm really messing up that corner. I'm sure I can easily find half a second just like by properly braking into that corner.
Yeah.
So that's already a low hanging fruit. What I'm worried about though is like I just like I'm already like what is it, like 3 seconds behind in like before we even get to the bus stop. So that's like that's gonna
So yeah, okay. So
that's
we're 3.3. So I tell you what then, before we actually get into your driving, let's just highlight some areas that we're gonna focus on, like wherever the biggest steps are on the data. So obviously the bus stop is one. That's a big chunk, and this I'd say here to here. Let's go here to here because that's one corner there to there. So that is
Yeah.
1.9.
which one is
So
this
that-
one?
So this is hairpin 2. So if we don't call turn 1 a hairpin, call turn 1
Ah,
turn
yes,
1.
yes.
Hairpin
Yeah,
1, hairpin 2.
yeah.
So there's over a second in that one. So let's look at that. Let's have that as like another corner. I don't want to tell you every single thing over the whole lap because it's too much to work on in like one
No,
run.
I struggle in that one. That's like a very late apex. I struggle on the power. I struggle in the overtake here. I always end up in the marbles and I lose
Yeah.
a ton of time. It's a tough corner for me to get.
Okay, well, minimum speed, you're perfect. It's like literally perfect. 90k. But you're a gear higher than me, which again, we've already spoken about the gears. I reckon that's pushing you wide. I think being second is like forcing you to be slightly wider at that point, and that's also making the acceleration worse off the corner. I think being like not slower because obviously your minimum speed is correct, but being tight and first gear, because you see you're a little bit way off the inside. First gear will help you rotate more. It'll kind of like drag you into the apex more. And so I think actually by not trying to go quicker, but just trying to be tighter at the apex and really being patient with the throttle, because look, you're actually starting to get on the power earlier than me. Here, if we zoom in, you're starting to power on here. And then I think that maybe is just edging the car wide, coupled with not being in first. It's like two things together, stopping the rotation, and this corner's all about getting it pivoted without scrubbing the tyres too much. So
Right.
I think obviously a lot of the speed is on entry too. You know, here to here we're losing some of it. So there,
Your braking point is again much later than me. Like
and
you're
by the
braking
time we
like
get here,
what is your braking point on that corner?
let's look. I'll go on the cockpit and then we'll go outside. So you've got the black kind of seam of tarmac here.
Yeah, I've actually spotted that.
There, it's like
Wow. Okay.
It's like halfway
Halfway,
into this,
yeah,
into this
yeah.
like extra bit of escape road or whatever you call it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it looks
halfway.
like
Yeah, I can try that. Okay.
it's that.
Yeah, 'cause
This is the crucial bit, like the really slow, tight first gear part here. that's where like I think most of the time is made up. So you're braking hard and quite deep because the track kind of curves around you and then you go in. So I'll tell you what, I showed this to, who was it? Was it Pete the other day? I went up high in the sky to show him the weird shape that this corner is and why I go in so deep. Okay, so yeah, you see here where the track's really narrow and then it
Yeah.
widens out just there. It like
Yeah.
widens out. And so I try and treat this like it's still part of the straight. So we go right out to like here. It means you can brake later because, yeah, you're kind of cutting off that bit. You're kind of pretending it's not there. Although the track widens, we just go straight, as straight as we can at least, out to the edge. I know the car is turning, but we're straightening it off a bit to try and turn it into a bit more like a typical hairpin, rather than treating it as such a long corner. And so that's why we end up going... I need to go back down to earth to see this. So we end up kind of going out to the edge a little bit. I need to see your replay before we can really comment on it. But yeah, let's look at your data because there's the GPS there. Yeah, you're not quite exaggerating it as much. You're not miles off though. No, you're kind of near me out here, but you're slightly further in. It's just a little bit.
I mean, look, yeah, I think it's carrying more of the speed. That's a bit of the problem, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just brake later and try and deal with it. Essentially, we'll come off the throttle. So that's 1558. Yeah, it's nearly 50 meters different. So it's just gonna be later and a bit harder, a little bit harder. But your trailing's good. Look, this is really good. The way you're trailing in's good. But you just need to be doing that offset by 50 meters. You need to be doing what you're doing there later, and that will keep the weight on the nose longer. Because by the time you get to the tight bit of the corner, you've finished your braking. I think that's also probably why it pushes wide. It's like second gear is pushing you wide, and you finished the braking too soon because you started it too soon, and that takes the weight off the nose here. Whereas I've still got weight on the nose up to there and first gear. So it's no wonder my car turns in better because it's all weight on the nose and rotating. So there we go. Maybe we'll focus on those two things then. We're going to do bus stop a bit quicker, so we'll brake a bit later and a little bit softer for the first bit. But you still need to be like using loads of curb and under control. So don't try and do the bus stop fast. Just do it a bit faster than you were. That's all. And yeah, hairpin to 40 or 50 meters later on the brakes, but keep the brakes on right up until the apex and down to first gear. And let's see what happens. If that causes you problems, we'll fix those problems separately. But let's try that. I was going to say, does that make sense? But of course it makes sense, Serge, because you always take on board all this stuff really well.
Well, I mean, it makes sense as you're saying it, and then when I have to put it into practice, it's like, what was Brad saying again?
That's okay. That's fine. I'm just checking we are recording. Yes, we are. And I'm just checking there's enough memory for it to record the whole thing. Yeah, there is. Yeah, 82 gig we've got left in our recording folder.
Yeah, I have to get used to like the first gear into the chicanes.
Yeah, I want to see how this looks for you. Obviously, lap 1, there's no grip. Lap 1, it's just ice, so don't worry too much. I'm still using first, but you're going to see, I'm sure that it will rotate better. Until you start getting on the gas, when obviously it's going to accelerate much quicker than you're used to.
Whoa!
That's just cold tyres, don't worry. That does that to me as well. I think damage is turned off, so you should just be able to carry on.
Oh, damn it, sorry.
That's alright, it's fine. Your tyres would have been a bit damaged, but...
Yeah, I guess I got a little too excited on this. Hold on a second, let me move your stuff because it's kind of distracting me a little bit. All right.
Yeah, don't judge the car or the driving changes on this lap because it's just not representative at all. Well, I'll tell you what, you definitely tried that fast. I think most of that understeer was because of the cold tyres. I'm gonna clear your penalty. There you go, it should have gone. If you got one. But that wasn't bad, Serge. That was not a bad effort through there. I'm just watching it back. You can use more curb on the left. Yeah, the entry curb set you up for a fall there because you were like half a car off the curb.
Oh man, too much curb right there.
You can never have too much curve. In fact, you probably should have used more, Serge.
Amen. Amen.
Obviously, I'm joking on this occasion.
Or are you?
So we're going to brake in this escape route. Nice. Well done, man. It will take a little while to get used to exactly how that feels. And this track is hard to be consistent with. I think the tyres on this LMP2 change quite dramatically, quite quickly. They go like cold, perfect, no grip because they're too hot in very, very quick succession. Especially when the conditions are like this. Okay, so try and use more of the first curb. And don't try and go too quick through the middle part of the corner. Good job. You can use a lot more of the first curb, though.
Okay. I was definitely just trying to get the braking point a little bit closer to the one, but I still can't.
Yeah.
I can't believe you go beyond the one, bro.
Your line was good in the middle there, by the way. Your line was really good through the middle of the corner. Like, you weren't really deep. You were kind of in the middle, which is nice.
Yeah, the first corner is still kind of... I could have been on...
I think the first half of the lap was really good. We went a little bit too fast or too late into that last left-hander, but
yeah, okay.
Overall, it looks pretty nice. Like, the driving's not bad at all. So you can use more of the concrete on this curb.
The first.
Yeah, so try and basically nearly touch the grass on the way in here. Yeah, that's slightly closer. I think you actually backed out of it, though. You were on the right trajectory, and then you were like, maybe this is too much, and you kind of unsteered.
It totally did.
Yeah. I'm just watching it back on the replay. Yeah, you second-guessed yourself. You were perfect, pretty much, and then you kind of held off on the steering, and that put you wide. But, yeah, up until that point, it was good.
I could have kept going.
Yeah, and I think you would have been just right, like just perfect.
The guy behind has just done a 140.55.
Well done there, man, into the 140s. That's good. So that's already a second and a bit quicker than the lap that we were comparing you to. So
No shit.
Yeah, you did a 41.7 was your best in that stint that I saw. And you've already done a 40.5, so that's great. And these are hot conditions, so this is not ideal at all.
Shit. I lost it on that.
That's a bit more like it with that curb.
Yeah, I think I was pushing a little too much. I had to do some opposite lock.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. When you nail that line on the way in and you hit that curb, you have to just be aware that it is probably going to try and kick the rear out if you're aggressive on the gas. So accept that you've got the nice benefit from the short line and don't overstand on the gas. Okay, that was more curb that time. That was more, but you can still use more. So you still half kind of second guess yourself. Yeah, you're still like a meter away from where you need to be.
Wow. So, it felt like I was on the ragged fucking edge, man.
Yeah, there's a little bit more. But the moment you do that, you'll have so much more space to play with in the middle of the chicane.
In the middle, okay.
That's where the extra speed comes from, because you've just got the room to carry the speed.
The guy behind has just done a 140.
Oh man, 40.3. This is mega. You're going much quicker. We can throw that first data trace in the bin. You're way, way better already.
Jesus. It's almost like taking classes with. It's almost like taking classes with you is making you faster or something. Ah shit! I looked it up.
Well done for keeping it on though. Half of the skill there is knowing when to bail and when to like just keep it out of the wall, and you did well to keep it on the track.
Okay, it's much worse, but I feel like I know what I need to do better.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But it's becoming harder and harder to actually execute.
Okay. Probably
So
because you're going quicker. Yeah, you can use slightly more curb than last time. That's closer. That's half a meter.
Oh, holy
nice.
shit!
Good. That was really good through there. You've got half a meter more you can use.
No.
I'm going to just go back. Because remember, you need to be on the grass as you exit the first curb. Yeah, like half a meter. When you see the replay, you'll see what I mean. But very good, though. That's by far the best angle I've seen you do through there. Another 10th. Well done. You're getting quicker.
140.24.
And that's even though you screwed up hairpin 2. You still gained a 10th over the lap, so that's great. Man, if we could go
do a better job here.
Yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut. I've got a feeling that using first gear in all those corners has gained you quite a lot of this time. I think you're getting quite a bit more acceleration than you were before.
I think I am, but it's funny. Like I feel like I'm stepping on. Well, you probably. I mean, it really feels like I have to be gentle on the throttle. Okay, more curb, Serge. Use all the fucking curb, baby.
Slightly. That was about the same as last time, but I think you went a bit too quick through the middle.
Too quick, yeah.
Little bit.
Okay, maybe we can take a look at the data trace.
Yep, absolutely. Do you want to just stop it there and we'll just look back at that, because there's some things that you might not have, you might not be able to feel or see when you're in the cockpit. So I'll show you them back, and we'll take the data too, obviously. Right, so before we look at the data, I'm going to show you your last 2 laps as a video into the bus stop. So can you see me?
Yep, I can see you now.
So first thing is, we've got a bit of a gap to the wall. Now, I know that doesn't look like a big gap, but you can go slightly closer. Go like half that gap. I think on this lap we turned in a little bit late, like a little tiny bit. Let's go on
Little
slow
too
mo.
late.
So this is how much curb you used on that last one.
What?
And when I
Okay,
said
yeah,
you've
yeah,
got
yeah.
half a meter, I want your left tyre to be there, where that
Yeah.
bit of grass is, like cutting that. So that was that lap. And obviously then by the time we got here, well, I think we were just going a bit too quick and the understeer is set in and then, yeah, it's just going to push wide. Just a little bit. Right, let's look at the previous lap though, because the previous lap was really good. So this one, let's fast forward to the same part. So still a little, we can go slightly closer to the wall, but only a little bit.
Oh, I took 2 bites out of that one.
And again, you know, I was saying, that's the best one you did. This was your best lap, and this
Okay.
was the best through there. But look where the car is exiting. It's facing straight
Yep.
ahead here.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I want to face it more to the left.
ideally, we want to be here. So when I said there's like half a meter, it's like that bit there. So that's it. That will set you up to give you the best opportunity to get through the rest of the corner with that high speed and without it running wide. But look how good it looks, Serge. This is how I was watching you. This is what it looked.
Wow.
That middle
Wow.
bit, that's awesome. That,
Yeah.
perfect. That's absolutely perfect there. That, again, I'd say basically perfect. Like the angle your car's at, and here, and at the second curve here as well, really good. Like, if that wasn't an off track, then that's perfect. If it was an off track, then maybe you can go slightly further left. But that's basically it. You're basically there. Like, the middle part of that chicane is really nice. So let's look at the data. You're right, though. You took 2 bites. So if we go slow-mo, it's like turn, straight, turn. There's the second one. Not the end of the world. That's not the end of the world. But just, like, edge in gently, like, and try and do it in one. I'd probably have a similar thing. Like, I bet if we look at mine, because you're kind of trying to set the car up and you're judging, is that about right? Yeah, now. Like, it is hard to do it perfectly. So you have to set yourself on the course to aim at that curb and then kind of perfect it as you approach. But let's see. Am I any closer to the wall? A little bit, yeah. I'm definitely closer. Out there.
You're in the shadow.
Yeah, a little bit of shadow. Let's go slow-mo, see if I take 2 bites. Yeah, I'd say maybe. So it's like turn, hold off, now turn. But it's definitely a bit earlier than you are, isn't it? I'm angling in. Let's see if we can figure out where the exact turning point is. So I'm already turning before the 1. There. So I'm turning before I get to the 1 board. And that's what helps me be at that angle.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I think the turn in before, a little bit before the 1, because I'm braking at the 1, but I should be cornering. Yeah, I think I should be cornering.
You're turning just after the 1.
Yeah.
So if you turn just before the 1, you can do a gentler turn over like a longer period, and it will arc you in slightly more easily without you having to like turn away. So it's hard though, man. You're going so fast at this point, and you're having to brake as well. Let's load the data.
Super.
But dude, what an improvement just in that one run, and the consistency. Look at your consistency. 5, 3, 2, boom, boom, boom. Like really good. Let's load that up. I think the Serge from, when we did our first sessions, if we showed that Serge what you're doing here, we'd be very, very pleased. So
yes,
right,
yes. I think this is like you might say it's a night and day improvement, and it's crazy because it came in so easily.
I can't see your data here.
Oh, do I have to get out?
Yeah. Just hop out of the car. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't see you in the car.
Yeah. That's probably why. Hold on, let me hop out. I'm still in the car. Let me get out of the cockpit.
There we go. 1 second ago. That's it. It's just going to load for a second. Here we go. Yeah, look at that. And you did 3 purple sectors earlier, so that lap, all the time, or a lot of the time, was from the end because you got a purple at the end. Let's have a look. Let's add it to this one. Let's see what you're doing differently to when you were in your race the other day.
Yeah.
We need to change that to green so we can see it. Right. This is great. First of all, turn 1, you're braking way later and much better. Like, awesome. And you're in the correct gear. And look how much better your acceleration is off turn 1.
Yeah, that acceleration is so much better.
before, by the time you'd exited turn 1 and gone through the mini chicane, you were 1.1 seconds down. Now you're only 4/10. Like, just massive gain. So that's excellent. Let's look in the first hairpin. What has happened here? So look at this one. Again, you were braking way earlier before. Now you're braking much later. And the minimum speed's good. And although not perfect on this lap, your acceleration off the corner is good too. So, really
I
good.
think
you got sideways,
once you told...
I think you got
Yes,
a
I
little
did.
bit sideways.
So I did. But also, once you told me where the braking point was, like halfway between in the exit road, that just changed my whole...
Yeah, that's this one here. That's into hairpin 2. Again, way better. Look now you're basically where I'm braking. Like, give or take a meter or two. So I wouldn't try and change that now. I wouldn't try and push it deliberately. You'll naturally tweak it by a fraction, but I think you've already now hit where you should be braking within a good range. And if you try and go much more, you're going to go wide. You know, you're going to struggle to get it stopped and lock up. That's nice. Like, this is decent. The only thing I'd say is in the middle on this lap, we probably got towards the apex at slightly too high a speed, which then pushed you wide on the exit just there. So that's the only thing. It was all going relatively well, but then you sensed you were going a bit too slow, and you kind of bled off the brakes. You see how the green has stopped braking here? And that's when you've not picked up speed, but you've stopped decelerating at the same rate.
Yeah.
And that sent you through the middle a bit quick. Coupled with, you went in very early. Look how early the green line turned in on that lap. So you were offset quite a lot. This was your fastest lap, Serge. So imagine if you didn't do that, and you were like wider and then swept in, and you weren't too fast here, you'd be another half a second down the road, I reckon. So there's still time here, but your braking point's way better. Okay,
yeah, I think
corner.
that corner is definitely better.
Here as well, you're just like much more confident on the brakes. You're braking way later, and look at your braking profile compared to the red one. It's way more correct. It's just good. That's looking nice. I think with another run now, where you get to start with fresh tyres, after you've done your outlap and the tyres start to switch on, I think you're going to just find time. Right, bus stop. Yes! Yes! Look at that! That's great! That's what it felt like.
Better.
That's what it felt
better.
like as well. So you are now over... We said if you can go halfway there, you're doing great. That's well over halfway. Look at how there's now no big step in the delta. So what were you losing before? 1.3 or something? So 3.2 to... Yeah, it's like 1.2, 1.3. Now we're losing, so 2.5... 4/10.
That's not bad. That's a second.
In...
I mean...
4 laps of practice. That's really good. Really good. That's nice, Serge. But don't do this. I'm going to tell you off for this. So right here, you're 2.9 down, and then we lost maybe 0.2 because you hit the rev limiter just here. See that there?
Oh yeah.
So just don't hit the rev limiter, basically. I do it all the time in this car. It's hard to tell in this car where it is. Just be careful. I probably was talking to you or something, but just be careful of that.
No. It's definitely happened several times, and I know I'm trying to. Yeah, but then, so what is this? This is So go right there. So go forward. No, actually, just right here, and then
so
drag.
hairpin 2. So do you want to go in more detail?
Just right here all the way. Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So
That's
essentially, we need to brake a little bit less hard, but trail a bit more into the corner, just a little bit, because you're slowing down too early, and then you're coming off the brakes to compensate, and that's sending you through the apex a bit fast, which pushed you wide. I think this was an outlier, though. I think you did this better on other laps. So let me take the lap before, because it was only 1/10 different the lap before, and you did the bus stop way better on this lap. So let's try an earlier, like the 1 lap before, because I don't think you were doing it like that on other laps. I think you were better into there. I don't want to tell you to change a thing that actually normally you're fine. So let's look at the one before. Yeah, this one. It's only 1/10 different. And let's make this one bright pink so we can see the contrast. We might remove the red one in a minute. Okay, so this one, you did brake a little bit less hard. Your minimum speed was maybe slightly too soon, and then you picked up the throttle a bit too early, got sideways, and had to get off the gas on that lap. So actually, even that one wasn't the best, but it was for a different reason. Like, it was all going too well, and then you were like, off, back on, and that's why you dropped there.
Yeah.
But you still ran a bit wide. Let's get rid of the red line now, because that's irrelevant now. You're nowhere near that slow now. So here we go. That's a bit clearer to see. Yeah. Without that lift, you'd have been fine. And the lift was because you were at 60% gas when I was still gently going in. You were trying to drive into the corner on the throttle, whereas I'm waiting until like there, right in the middle before I think about it. So, but better though, much better line here than the green one. But you're still going in early. So where I said maybe that was an outlier, actually that's 2 laps in a row. You've sent it in too soon, and it's then pushed a bit wide. So let's try and stay straight for a bit longer, and then arc in a little bit later. Let's watch what it looked like. So you did the same line on this lap, so we'll watch it here. Yeah, you see where you're starting to turn in here. You're already peeling away from the edge, and I'm staying straight down to there.
Yeah,
and
down
then
to there.
turning.
Yep.
So you've made your corner a bit harder. Look at the grass it's throwing off the bat. You've made the corner a bit tighter, and then it pushes wide. So yeah, it's 2 things. It's braking less hard, so you're still braking when you get to here, instead of trying to get on the gas, and it's staying wider for longer. It's those 2 things together. It might be quite difficult to put that into practice. It's a hard corner, but if you can change that, that's probably the main thing for this next run to tweak, because that's going to gain you a chunk. You're going to gain loads, in fact. What are we losing here still? So 6/10 down there, and by the time we get to here, say, yeah, it's going to be half a second. There's half a second potential through here, so you'll be well into the 39s, won't you, if you can start getting this nailed. So, is there anything else? Any other bits we want to talk about before? Don't change turn 1, it looks great. Okay, maybe a bit of positioning into turn... It's not turn 2, because I guess the chicane's turn 2, but it's the second proper corner. You're going in you're peeling off from the edge quite early into hairpin 1, and it's consistent as well. If you look at the difference on the blue and the green and the pink lines, you're bleeding away from the edge quite soon. So maybe that's something that you could... It's not affecting you a lot, but it's maybe making the corner a bit tighter than it needs to be. But yeah, very minor. If it makes it difficult for you, ignore it, because you're actually executing the corner quite well. You're just not coming off it quite as fast. That's all. Not a big change though. Just stay left slightly longer.
Yeah, stay left longer.
It's mainly that one.
It's funny because actually I was thinking that at some point I felt like I got a good apex and I turned way later.
Yeah, look at this. Look how far we are from the edge already.
Yeah.
And now we're going in. And obviously, you slow it down well, and that's lovely. But it's tiny fractions. You know, we say this all the time. It's that in itself has not cost you very much. But it's just, you might as well do it perfectly, because even if it's like 200ths, it's 2 300ths. Same with going up to the wall on the bus stop. You know, it doesn't take any skill to just be a bit closer to that white line. You just have to do it, and then it's just a bit of free lap time. And it'll just like, it might add up to, because this will feel a bit easier, you might just carry a little bit more speed in, and it's just like tiny chunks all the way. But the important bit here you did really well. And then what's the other thing? Probably the corner that sends you off onto the banking. That's really the only other corner. Really, there's only turn 1, hairpin 1, hairpin 2, this one, and the bus. There's not many corners. You can count them on one hand. So let's just look at this one. So the pink one, you did quite well here. So the second to last lap. Okay, the minimum speed was a little low, but you got a great exit. So what are we? We're 1.2 down here. Okay, we're losing half a second. So there is half a second in it from maybe carrying a bit more speed through the middle. But what we want to do is carry more speed through the middle and not run wide. So there's no point doing one without the other. So the green one, you carried a little bit more speed through the middle, but you ran wide. So we have to try and do both things. So I need to try and explain to you how to do both things. Okay. It's okay, I can explain how. You do it by not getting on the power too soon. I think the green one, I don't know what happened with this green one. Why did we run that wide? Oh, you just weren't turning the wheel as far. When you look at the steering angle, right here, I've got 54 degrees of lock and you're only at 32. You're slightly behind on the steering angle, and then by the time you get the angle on, you've slowed it down more in order to do that. That's really, it's very, very subtle. This is, let's watch it. It'll be easier to watch it. So this is, which lap is this? This is green lap that we're watching here, not pink lap. So this is green lap. So, we missed the curb. So that's the first thing. We need to get on that curb. Yeah, okay, that tallies, doesn't it? If you turn slower, then you don't get to the curb because you turn too slow. So just a tiny bit earlier.
You know what it is? Oh, you can't see my gas.
No.
Well, I'm over 50. Yeah, I'm pretty. I'm over 50%, right? Like the cornering is pretty aggressive there. I try not to do it too much because way back when you told me that if you turn the steering wheel too much, it's probably because you have the wrong speed.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think this is a weird one because actually you're going slower than me, but the car doesn't turn very well. I still think there's something in this applying that lock early whilst it's not, the car's not really loaded up a lot. Right now, you're not understeer. This phase in the corner just here, it's not at the point where it's understeering yet. When you get to like here is where you feel the understeer.
Yeah, but look at you're stabbing the throttle. Like go left,
Here,
keep going left.
that's just a downshift. That's not stabbing the throttle. That's just the auto blip.
I see.
That's just a downshift.
Okay. Because I feel like, okay, so what I was trying to say is that when I'm on the first gear, I gotta be very, very cautious on the throttle, or I feel that way. It could be that you give it a little bit more. Oh, you don't actually. I give it more.
On the green one, on the green one, you get on the power a little bit more here, but you're coming from a lower speed, so that's kind of.
But look at you. You get on full throttle way sooner than I do. Look at that. Like it's
that's because on the green lap you knew you were running wide, so you couldn't get on the throttle because it was understeering wider here. So that's why you couldn't get on the throttle. But that all stemmed from it beginning to understeer back here. I think it had already begun. Like if we go in slow-mo here, look how it's pushing wider and wider. If we go back a little bit, actually. Go to slow-mo. It's here.
Oh, it's understeering.
Yeah, now we're going wider and wider. I think it's the exact angle we arrive here at. I bet if we go on the far chase and we go up in the sky, the way your car is pointed might be a bit further. Let's go to like there. I love when we get to dig down into these things. Right, we're going to have to remember the angle of the car. Okay, so it's going to be hard to remember this, but and now I'm going to skip to mine, see if I'm pointed round the corner anymore. Let's have a look. I think it is. I think there, certainly but on the curb more.
Yeah, actually, I think that the thing is I just have to use more curb because I'm right of the white line, so already that's going to change my angle. So I think if I'm on the curb, I should naturally have a better I should naturally have a better angle.
Look at how early this car rotates. It gets the rotation done like here. See there, we're already rotated. It's not rotating at the yellow bit. It's turn and here. Look how it sits in. It's like now and that's why we can get back on the power early, and then it stays tight. I think because your rotation happens that little bit later. This is really detailed now, like real nuance, but that's why it's fun. Let's get to that same bit again. On this lap, so if we look at the same slow-mo, yours turns in. Where's that second rotation? It's like now, but it's too late. We're already running wide.
Yeah, it's too late. I think
So we just, you're
I get,
right though.
I gotta
We need
get,
to be,
I gotta get that angle
we need to be
before
on
I
that
even.
curb. Yeah,
Yeah.
angled towards the curb. One other thing I noticed that might be pushing you a bit deeper than me is your downshifts happened a bit later. So I'm like down, down, but yours don't happen till like there. So your last bit of, like, you're not in first gear as early, so that might have also prevented it rotating as well. But yeah, let's look at that. See how it is on this next run, because the data might look different on this next one. You might just do it slightly differently. But
Right.
definitely the main thing, the thing I'm thinking of when I'm driving this, is getting the car onto that yellow curb from here and being nice and slow and under control when I'm on it. But you're already, your minimum speed is at the right point, and it's slightly, it's 10k slower than mine. So it's not the speed that's the problem. I think it's the angle you're at when you arrive at that speed. But yeah, let's try it again. We've probably forgotten all the other stuff we were going to do now. Okay.
Yes.
Bus,
Yes.
bus stop. Don't change it very much. Get
No,
closer
bus
to
stop. I know I can get, but also bus stop is I need to turn in a little bit earlier.
a little bit. Yeah, you can see on
A
here.
little
can't
bit
you? You can
earlier.
see where the green is. So a little bit earlier, so you're touching the grass at that bit, if possible. Certainly using all the white concrete, but the earlier turn in will set you up slightly better to be on that without it trying to fall off there. It's only a tiny bit though, so don't try too hard because you're already very, very close. That is much closer to me than I expected you to get through there. And you exited perfectly, like spot on. So that's really good. The other thing was hairpin 1 slightly, stay left slightly longer. The biggest thing is hairpin 2. Not turning in as early and not running wide on the exit. So just staying straight a bit longer. Don't try and get on the gas prematurely like here, that then pushes you wide. Get it rotated round, slightly shorter distance. In fact, your braking on the pink one was really good. That's actually really nice. But because you slowed it a tiny bit sooner, that identical braking to me actually meant you were going a bit too slow because you'd already done a bit more braking earlier. And it was also because it went in a bit early. If we can just sort out this straightening in the braking zone, so you sweep around to that line rather than going in shallow and being forced wide, I think you'll find 2 or 3 tenths there quite effortlessly. So yeah, there we go. You just don't want to be forced to lift just there where you were. We want to be back to full throttle earlier because the car lets you because of the angle you've gone in at. I think it's mainly this approach angle. So there we go. That's it. Just do that. Just do that and then you're perfect.
All right, I'll try that. This is a lot to digest, man. Let me tell you that
it is.
right now.
But you've already made such a big jump just in the first run. So you took a lot of the low-hanging fruit straight away.
Yeah, that's the low-hanging part.
Now you have to reach high for the fruit.
Reach high. But the thing is, though, no matter what you do, try to use that freaking curb. That's the
Yes.
thing that I need to.
You've got the hoodie, Serge, so you know what to do.
I do not actually have the hoodie.
Do you have
I
the
need
t-shirt?
to get it. I do have the t-shirt.
Yeah, that's what I meant. No, you don't have to buy the hoodie.
No, I do have to buy the hoodie because
They're quite
it's getting cold out
expensive,
here.
those hoodies. Oh, okay. We've got a different, you don't have to have the blue and the pink and the green one now. We've got like black and white ones if you want a bit more of a
I do
neutral.
like the black and white one, dude. I'm
Yeah,
a sucker for black and white.
I don't have one of those yet. I want to get one. I have to pay the same full price, so that's why I haven't got one yet.
Oh.
That was a good use of the curve.
Wow. Yeah, dude. I can
But
see
your tires are cold though, so it's
my green line was much bigger. I mean, you know what I mean? Like my delta was much bigger.
But that's on an outlap on cold tires, so.
So this is still the outlap. So I'm actually really curious about that bus stop. If I try to start turning it a little bit. Oh, that's way too early.
That was a bit too early. Yeah, that was a little too early. That's why it's so hard because we're only talking a couple of meters.
Yeah.
But, that one was just a
way
little bit
too early. And actually, what's even worse is that I'm gonna have more front end on the second lap.
Yeah.
Because the front tires will be warmer. So yeah, I definitely don't need as much.
And if you're going in earlier, remember you're going to have to turn slightly slower as well. You don't need to like turn fast. Just like load it up really smoothly. That was better at staying wide. Well done.
Oh, too much. But it's hard to reprogram my brain, man. It's like you're fighting it.
Yeah. So stay straight here longer. Yeah, you did it. Well done. You did it. That line's good. So I don't know if the speed was perfect. You might have slowed it down a bit too much and got on the power
a little
early.
too much. Yeah.
But the line you took was the right line.
Too much here. Yeah. But it's still better than my personal best through that section.
Okay.
So I can stab that curb a little bit more aggressively. Let me try to dial it back to where I was right before.
Nice middle, Serge. That was really good in the middle. You made that hard because you actually weren't very much on the curb on the entry. You weren't even on the concrete. You were only on the yellow bit, and you fell off the yellow bit. So that was like 1.5 meters wider than normal, but you still did a good middle part. So you're getting a good feel for how much speed you can get away with in the middle of the bus stop, but you'll just get away with slightly more if you use all that first curve.
Okay.
I know you're trying. I know you want to use it. Again, you really were wide and nice on the entry there, so good effort.
Ah, shit. Yeah, I think I carried too much speed on that one. Way too much speed on that one.
Yeah, I can hear the throttle is back on well before the apex. So this is one of those counterintuitive things. We're going to need you to brake less so that you're braking longer, so you're not tempted to get on the throttle before the corner.
Yeah. I see.
It's like you have to go quicker so that you're then going slow at the right time, not too early. Okay, that was a bit more curb than before, but not all of it. You're still like 1 meter away from what you could be.
And I got an off track on the second one. That's why, because I think I went too wide on the second.
Yes, that's right.
In the middle.
Yeah, that's it. It was on the second of the curbs. You went wide that time.
Damn it. Damn, I hit the rev limiter again, man. Come on.
Yeah, we need less hard braking still for that corner. But that was a nice exit compared to before, for sure.
Okay,
you can still brake less hard on your initial press. Oh, I tell you what, you definitely used the curb. You can never have too much.
I used the curb on that one.
I don't mind.
I'm surprised I get an up track.
I'm not going to tell you off for using too much, so I like that.
Yeah, that wall is feeling very close, man.
Oh, nearly. The middle's good again. Oh, Serge, you're so much better through the middle than you were before. This is so much better. But the entry, you still weren't even touching the concrete bit. And the concrete is 1 meter wide. So there's at least 1.5 meters more you can use on the left. So don't second guess yourself.
Doesn't doesn't agree with you.
Aim at the grass. On this next one, use the
Aim at grass.
same turn-in point, so don't go earlier, like same turn-in point, but aim at the grass.
Just done a 139.4.
Yes, Serge, 139.4. Where's that come from?
Are you serious? That's
Yeah,
I did
139.4. Really good. So that hairpin you've just done, similar thing to the next one. You need to go in a bit faster, but be braking for longer, so you get your minimum speed right in the middle. Because I think you're rotating over a long period. Oh, that's a nice middle again there. Yeah, you're way, way better in the middle now. It does look like it's coming together. Good curve again.
Yeah, and I'm still not on first. I was on second.
Okay.
I was. I got scared of the of the rear.
Okay, so same turn-in point, but just subconsciously it will get you closer to that inside curb. If you don't worry about if you hit the grass. I don't want you to drive 4 wheels across the grass, but try and clip the grass with the left front at least. Yes, perfect. Perfect. Go. Absolutely perfect line that time.
It happened so fast, man.
Yeah. When you see the replay, you'll be happy.
So fast.
Did you get an off track?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. Well done. Yeah, when you see the replay, you'll be happy with that.
All right, let me do one more, and then let's look at the data again.
Okay.
Came in a little too hot in that.
Yeah, that hairpin one there, we need to brake more softly because you're getting it stopped a bit too quickly.
Too quickly, yeah. I felt that too.
And then you're tempted to start speeding back up again a bit too soon. The line into there is so much better. Look how much easier that exit is now than it was before. Like, so much easier to stay tight. Good line through there. Good line.
And I'm still on second.
Yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that.
Okay, last one. I just want to be on first one time.
No problem.
One time. Because this is ridiculous.
You know what to do through this bus stop now, because whatever you did last time, you just got the angle just right. It's really nice. Good job. It's basically just don't.
I did get enough track. Get enough track.
Okay.
This time.
It must have only been just because it was very, very close. I'm going to watch it back. Okay, it must have been from touching the grass slightly too soon. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll show you on the next one, but we're talking very fine margins, so you'll still be pleased with that. Okay.
Ooh, that's not too bad, man.
So, softer braking. Nice. Good job. Yeah, just so the rotation happens when you want the rotation to happen, and you've still got weight on the nose. You don't want to be in a position where you're having to accelerate early in a hairpin, because it's just going to push you wide. So remember, first gear for this next one.
Ah, shit. But at least I'm on first. Yeah, that was pretty scruffy. Yeah, it's pretty scruffy. But hey, I'll finish that.
Yeah. Let's just get this one finished. Every extra lap of practice through the bus stop is good.
Let me try to not get enough track.
Yeah, if you can turn in 1 meter later than you did on the last one, a tiny bit later, but still aim for the grass with your front left.
Fuck yeah.
Pretty good, man.
Oh, I think I might have hooked it up. Barely. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, when you see the replay.
Oh, it says I'm much faster through the...
You'll be pleased when you see this one back.
All right.
Yeah. Another 39. Good, we've got a couple of 39s in that one. So that wasn't your fastest lap, but that's probably because of earlier. We'll look at a few of those. But before we look at the data, and we'll make notes on this one, let me just show you your last 3 laps back through the bus stop, so you can just see the difference from what it was before. So first of all, look, you're near the shadow on the approach now. So
Yeah, closer,
I'm happy with
but
that. So this was the last one you did. So you're turning basically at the one, like here. So not bad at all. And look,
smooth.
you nearly,
Shit, almost.
you nearly perfected it, but you see where you're like, no.
Yeah.
And then I think you would have been perfect if you just stuck with that one. Look at where the car's going, and then no, we straighten, then we go again.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
that's not bad at all, because okay, on other laps you were here, and I'm going to show you them, but you were really good through the middle. Like you carried the speed well on this one. Like look, nice and neat. Look how tight we are to the inside here, and here, and here. Like just really, really good. Like, very much on the limit through the middle and the exit part.
Yeah, I tend to do okay in the middle in the middle part of the chicane. It's the entry that's like, it's
So
tough.
this is the lap before. I think this was your second best bus stop entry, this one. I think the best
Yeah,
one was
way
the
too.
lap before. So here we go. So in we go. Little bit too early. This is where you got the off track. That's what the off track was for, that bit. So you know I said go 1 meter later on the next lap? It's because of that. It was because we got there too soon. We just got here a little bit too soon.
Yeah, I
But
see
this
now.
is nice. Look, here, we were still using a lot, but we fell off a tiny bit. So because we hit it too soon, we fell off it a bit too soon. But this is still good. Like, that's still looking pretty good, consistent through there. Right, let's look at the best one you did. Well, the best entry, at least. I don't know whether the rest of the bus stop was good. I'll show you at full speed, and then we'll slow it down.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I see the.
I'm not sure you were quite as quick in the middle here, but you could have been. You just didn't believe it on this particular lap. But this, hey, look at that curb.
Yeah, nice.
That's where I want you to be. Lovely. Just means look how easy the angle is into there. Because of it, it's just good. Anyway,
Yeah,
just
that's crazy.
dramatic improvement, like really,
Yeah, it's
really
night
big
and day.
improvement. So let's load the data. Which one should we look at? Because there's 3 there that were pretty good. And your best lap wasn't the best through the bus stop. Because your best lap was that 39.4. But I think you did a better... are you out of the car?
Ah, damn it. No, shit.
Get out of the car! I'm virtually kicking you out.
Yeah. All right, now I'm out.
Right, hang on, it'll come up in a moment.
I think it's just
Yeah.
insane how much, like, how
let's-
much improvement I'm getting just like going through this.
We'll look at both of these. So let's look at this one and the last one, like the 239s, because you didn't get any purples on these two, and they were both 40. So let's go for this one, because you obviously did the middle bit or the earlier part of the lap really well. God, what colour are we going to make this? So let's get rid of... What was your best? Well, the green one was the best, so let's get rid of the pink. So the green one was the one, yeah, it was the best, and it's the one we were looking at. So we'll get rid of the pink, and we'll make this one pink now. So the latest one you did is now bright pink. Okay, so where did we make the time? You were slightly behind yourself in this section, but very, very close. Oh yeah, okay, you made it. You made it from here. You were clearly way, way better into this one. Okay, so it's the exit.
Yeah, okay.
Still, we were saying it at the time. I was saying you're still a little slow on the way in, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
nailed the exit. Like, look how much better the exit is. So
Yeah, the exit is much better.
you
But I
didn't
could
trust.
tell,
You
yeah,
didn't
man.
trust full throttle. Still, you still didn't get to full throttle quite as early. But you're being careful.
No,
You didn't lose a
no.
lot. You didn't lose very much. But yeah, look the entry. Look at the line you're taking now. Way nicer.
Yeah, it's better. Way better.
And look how much better it's keeping you on the exit. It's keeping you tight there. So you've gone from losing 2.8 to say, oh my god, you've gone from losing like 8/10 to now losing 3/10. So that's good.
Wow, that's half a second.
That's good.
But you know what? I can tell you right now, like it feels better as I'm going through that. So
Yeah,
at least my
it looks
intuition.
better. Yeah, it looks better as well. We haven't really looked at that, have we? So I'll look at it on here. This is we're looking at the right lap, this lap. I'll just show you how much better it looks as well. Whereas before you were turning in now, like here, going to
Yeah.
Now look, straight. We're kind of cutting to here, like I was saying. You don't have to go right out to the white line, but you've just opened up the corner a bit more.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
when it
Way more.
look how easy that was. And
Yeah, it's night and day.
and it stays there. We're staying on the inside. And it just means you've got room to move into as you accelerate. It's nice.
Yeah, I could tell right there. I could tell that like I could have gone a little faster, which means that my minimum speed, or I'm not getting on the throttle, not getting on 100% throttle soon enough.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at this and I felt like there is more runoff. I could have washed out on the runoff more if I had carried more speed.
Most of the time loss is actually in the braking now. It's not through the middle. Before it was like you were losing time through the middle. Now the time loss is here to here. Like getting it slowed. You see you're just braking a bit earlier again. You've gone back to this slightly earlier brake. 1588 meters versus... Yeah, so you're like 14 meters early. It's not massive, but it's something. And that's why this is a little slow at this phase. But I can understand because you were getting used to this new line. You know, you were trying to get used to going wide and sweeping in. So now you can do that. Just brake a bit later, and then you won't be losing 0.3. You might lose 1/10. So that's that one. This next one was the other one. Yeah, look how much better it is. So much better into here. So again, you've gone from losing. If we take this point here, you were 1.6 down, and on the exit you were 0.8, and now you've 1.2. Yeah, now it's 0.3. So again, half a second through there. On that lap you've gained by going in a bit quicker but getting it slowed down and angled on the curb at the right point. Like you're actually now more on the curb than me. Like you've got it turned here.
Yeah.
It doesn't go as wide.
But that was
probably
also
slightly
maybe
too soon that time.
Yeah, because exactly. I think it was too much because I slowed down too much, which is goes back to what we're saying about me having braking too hard.
But this, yeah, it's only a little bit. But yeah, you were slightly harder than me. And when that meant when you turned in, it went in a bit too well. And then obviously it ran you wider. But because you used a bunch of curb, you didn't run as wide as you would have done. And you still got a pretty good exit. But yeah, you can see it's on the exit that you start to lose from the blue line. And that's where the time creeps away. But I'll tell you what though, dude, it's so much better. And on this particular lap, yeah, it wasn't as good through the bus stop. You're even on your best lap here, this is the 39.4. You were slower through the bus stop on the 39.4. So if you'd done a slightly better bus stop, like as good as you did on a different lap, you'd have been 39.0 maybe. How
much worse is the bus stop though? Because I felt like that bus stop felt like I was I guess
this is on the 39.4. Remember, you did it better on the next 3 laps.
So I see.
This was your fastest lap, but probably your 4th fastest bus stop. So on this lap, you go from 1.6, and let's take it to like here. So what's that? Half a second you're losing to the bus stop on that one. On the previous run, it was 2.5. It was 0.4. So you're not losing as much as it looks from the data here, because you get back up to speed quite well by here. But let's now compare that to one of your... In fact, we can get rid of the green lap now. We don't need it anymore because you're much quicker than that. But let's compare the pink one to one of your other laps on that run where you were better through the bus stop. So, what did we say the best one was? Here we go. It was one of these 3. It was probably the last one. Yeah, because you got purple in the last sector. So, this one.
Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
So now we're going to make the very last lap you did bright green. Interestingly, it is better. It is better through the bus stop, but it's not massively better than the pink one. It felt like it was. But we just were slightly slower here. So how much is it?
I think it's still my braking is still too hard.
Your line is much better. Look at the line though compared to what it was before. It's now consistently nice. Yeah, it's that brake there. It's that bit there that's just overslowing it on the way in.
Yeah, it's too much.
And then
you know what it is, Brad? I also think it goes back to the thing that I keep forgetting. I mean, I don't forget it, but it always tends to screw me over. Is this is a very like this car has its biggest stopping power when it's at the end of the straight,
Yeah,
and it's very powerful. So in my mind, I'm like thinking, shit, I'm going very fast. I need a big braking, but I need
yeah,
to be slightly more gentle. I need to
yeah.
be like, I need 50%. I need 50% of what I'm putting right now.
Yeah, from
I need to have my braking power.
there to there. So it's as you're arriving into the corner, yeah, 50% less brake because you're doing some. It's, first of all, it's not a very tight corner. Like, look at the line. It's not like you're having to stop it for a proper turn. You're only just turning the steering wheel. So, yeah, you're right. It's just a gentler initial brake, but you have to do that and still make the corner. That's the tricky bit because the reason that this is really good through here now is because you're nice and under control here. You've got the speed off. What we want to do is exactly what you're managing here, but coupled with less braking here, which is quite a big ask. But that's what we need to do. That's what we need to make it do. One thing I've noticed is you're using more brake and less steering angle than me. So you might have to turn a bit more, like left, right. You might have to do slightly more sharp turn
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when you have the higher speed. You see there, I've got 55 degrees where you've got 37 or 38, but I'm also doing 30 or 40k more, or 20 or 30k more at that point.
I feel like these are all I feel like these are all good things for me to like if this were like so if this were real life, I think it's good that I'm going slower
Yeah,
and having a bias towards like not not like braking then cornering or not cornering too hard or doing this and then just like trying to like find more time by being more and more on the edge
yeah,
as opposed to just like driving like almost too recklessly and then having to like dial it back
yeah.
because I feel like at least like I can do these laps more consistently.
You're
I
definitely
can't
doing it the right way around. If I was sat next to you in a real session and you were doing it this way, where you're like, okay, now we'll go a bit quicker. Okay, there's still a bit more time for if we brake less, so we'll brake a bit less. Like, if we do that, that's way more comfortable than if I'm sat next to you and you're doing the Lance Stroll version where you go
we
too
just
hard and then you bring it back. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. After I crash a few times, I know where the
yeah,
limit is. Well, that's not really
exactly.
helpful, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're doing the right thing. You're building up to it. That's exactly what it is. Now, one thing I just want to point out that I looked at on here. You know how we said you turned in and then you like turned away and then turned again on the best one
Yeah,
through there.
yeah, yeah.
Imagine if you weren't braking as hard, it wouldn't have turned in so dramatically initially.
Yes.
And I think part of the reason you're turning and you're just like whoa, it's having to unturn, is because that extra brake pressure is making it turn too well. So if you're doing 50% of that pressure, 50% less pressure, it'll glide in with that one turn. You won't have to try and change it midway in. So just, yeah, that'll hopefully help you too. But yeah, the car can do it. It can do it. But you've definitely got a better feel for this phase. Here, here, here. You know where the car should be placed now. It's now just a case. I think the biggest thing for you now is doing that whilst carrying more entry speed. But you've got the line lined up really well now. You just have to do it faster. That's all. That's going to be the next bit. But I think that was a really, really good run, Serge. I think you instantly beat your previous best, and you're pretty consistent at it too.
Yeah, I think
And
this
there's
is
more to
definitely much
come
better.
still.
Yeah. Anyway, we're over time, so I'll try to log in a few more of these. Actually, how
Let me
do I
make
know
some notes.
the?
I'll stop the
I'm sorry.
recording. I'll stop the recording so it doesn't run out of memory, but I'll make